Hey there everyone! In my previous video, I talked about my 5 hopes for the upcoming Generation 9 games, Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet. In that video, I listed 5 things I would like to see come to those new games. Today, we're going to be talking about the other side of hopes with 5 things I don't want to see in Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet. Once again, my focus will be on the VG side of Pokémon because that's where most of my time is spent. But I want you to know that these are my opinions, so you can agree with me or disagree with me. I also want to know what you think, so don't forget to let me know in the comments down below what's your darkest timeline of things to see in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Probably some kind of season pass and loot boxes. But let me know those things in the comments down below, and while you're down there, do not forget to like and subscribe. The first thing I don't want to see in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet is Dynamax and Gigantamax. I think we can all agree that we are over Dynamax and Gigantamax. As cool as it was to give your Pokemon 3 turns to have increased power, but also moves that increase stats or gave secondary effects, I think it's run its course for most competitive players. It's great that it applies to all Pokemon just like Z-moves, but Z-moves required you to sacrifice your held item slot for access to that Z-move. Dynamax can turn the table in any match and can be applied to any Pokemon at any time as long as you haven't used it yet. Sure, VGC players have adapted to a Dynamax metagame, but do we want to play Dynamax for another 3 years? Not to mention, if we did see it return, it would probably stack on top of the next mechanic that will probably come with the new generation. As much as I hope not to see a mechanic come to VGC in Scarlet and Violet, I know that's unlikely. For number 2, the next thing I don't want to see in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet is Drowsy replacing Sleep. Now, as much as I would like Frostbite in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet to replace Freeze, I do not feel the same way about Drowsy replacing Sleep. For those of you unaware, Drowsy replaces Sleep in Pokemon Legends Arceus. It's like Confusion without taking damage. Except not only is there a chance for you not to attack, but you also take increased damage from your opponent's moves. Sure, you still have a chance to attack, but I feel like Sleep in itself is fine for the metagame. There's a lot of counterplay around it, and you could say the same thing about Drowsy, but with Sleep, a Pokemon with high defense could just deal with it. You could imagine how much it would stink playing Venudon in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, and you knew not only could you fall asleep or be drowsy and not attack, but P-Blades is going to do more damage as well. I feel like it would not be fun, and I feel like Sleep is fine where it's at, but let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. The third thing I don't want to see in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet is Pokemon Legends Arceus' catching mechanics and battling mechanics. Listen, as much as I love Pokemon Legends Arceus, the thing that made it special was that the catching mechanic was unique to that game. I feel like it would become more tedious if it was introduced in the more traditional Pokemon games, and I would prefer this catching mechanic to be a feature we only see in the Legends games, giving the Legends games something really unique to go back to when a new one comes out. Hopefully one with the Johto region, featuring the story of the Burned Tower and Celebi, which I think having that catching mechanic in a game that is only for like Legends Arceus would make it more special. Not to mention, we've seen other mechanics like the throwing mechanic in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and could you imagine if we saw that come over for Sword and Shield? I don't think we would enjoy that. As for the battling mechanic, I feel like VGC would not be VGC with agile and strong style moves. The narrow move pool and boosting and hindering moves like Snarl and Swords Dance affecting both the special and physical side it just seems weird when you think about it in the way of VGC, because there's going to be a lot of things that cover more. So I feel like the game would be more separated in like the power scale. I don't know. Like I said before, I feel like these things should be unique to just the Legends games, which makes the Legends games feel more special and more unique in itself. The fourth thing I don't want to see in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet is the removal of quality of life features. Did you try to breed a VGC team in BDSP? It was a pain. The biggest pain was removing egg moves being transferred over to Pokemon in the nursery, and the difficulty of getting a good Ditto, and I'm probably missing 5 other quality of life features that we lost between Sword and Shield and BDSP. This made breeding Mons for BDSP feel extremely sluggish and honestly not worth it for most players. There was a lot of quality of life features that make Sword and Shield very accessible to not only new players, but players who have responsibilities outside of VGC. Not to mention, people are already asking for more, like a Rusty Bottle Cap, which allows you to hypertrain a Pokemon's IVs to 0 instead of 31. So removing the quality of life features we've seen already would kind of be a bummer. And whether you breed your Mons or not, these features are needed to keep competitive accessible to new players and returning players. The last thing I don't want to see in Pokemon Legends Arceus is a third game. So don't get me wrong here. I like more Pokemon games. The more Pokemon games, the better. But as a competitive player, I enjoyed less story, and especially story that was not recycled from the first game, to help me get access to the new features and the new Pokemon like Regieleki, Urshifu, the Calyrex forms, Max Soup, ability capsules. To have to play through another full game to get those kind of would have stinked. Having DLC over the third game removes you having to transfer Mons over to a new game and grinding through the story to actually get back to VGC. Not to mention, if you only buy one version of the game, getting the DLC over another game is actually cheaper. I feel like adding story through DLC was a great choice. Did you get as much content? Probably not, but it saves time to get back to battling. So those are my 5 things I hope not to see in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, but what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you have your own ideas? Let's discuss it in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see some of my VGC content or future Scarlet and Violet playthroughs when they come out, make sure you like and subscribe. Either way, if you made it this far in the video, I want to say thanks for watching. Hopefully, I will see you in the next one.